Hello there, and welcome to another video lesson. Mr. Trochet here. We're going to talk about Chapter 4, Section 2.1, and it's going to be proportional relationships. And this is a very big component to our upcoming summative, so it's very important for you to take notes and to make sure that it looks as similar as possible. I am also running out of battery here. I'm at 10%, so I'm going to try to go quickly, but also try to be thorough, so please forgive me for that. We're going to get started with proportional relationships in 4.21. Here I have my notebook right here, and I want you to try to copy as much as possible. Please pause the video as much as you need in order to catch up, rewind things if you miss something, or to actually write things down. All right, so today proportional, we're going to do, for example, we have buy 2 pounds of apples for $1.29. What if I needed to buy, for example, 6 apples, or maybe 1 pound of apples, or 6 pounds of apples? What would we really do? We're going to be talking about those things. First, we have a 421. So for 4, oops, I'm in eraser mode. So we're going to go 421. And we have 5 years ago, Gustavo's grandmother put some money away in a college savings account. And with simple interest, meaning that it grows over a certain amount of time, after 5 years, the account will be worth $500. Then Gustavo thinks that if I don't take any money out, which is a withdraw, or don't add any more money in, which is deposit, I'm going to get $1,000. Do you think that's a good prediction? Go ahead and pause the video, see what you think. In this case, no, it's not a good prediction. The reason why is because Gustavo believes that it will double every single time that 5 years passes. But it will not double. Every 5 years. Just because that doesn't make sense. If he has $500 in 5 years, so let me go ahead and write this out. There's the beginning, the middle, and the end. So this is 5 years, and this is 10 years, and this is 0 years because that's when it started. Forgive me for writing quick on a little pen. This is $500. And then he thinks in 10 years it's going to be $1,000. Well, if you think about what's happening, what did he have to start with to get to $500? In his mind, he believes that he had $0, went to 500 in 5 years, and then goes to 1,000 in 10 years. That doesn't make much sense. So I disagree. For B, I disagree with Gustavo. And the reason why I disagree is because it doesn't make any sense to imagine or think that your money is going to double in 5 years if you had $500 in 5 years. To think that it goes to 1,000 in 10 years would have to assume that he started with 0. But we're going to continue on to the next question. 422. Hopefully you are following along with this. 422. Last week, Gustavo got his bank statement, and it said that he's only going to have $600. He's only going to have $600. So what is going on? That's what he's asking. What is going on? Why isn't my money growing like I thought it would? Now, unfortunately, that's not how the world works. You don't have $0, then 500, and then 1,000, because then everyone would be rich. So it says, with your team, discuss how much Gustavo account would appear to be growing every year. And why would he think that this is different? In general, you want to discuss with your team, but I would say he thinks, for example, how much Gustavo's account appeared to be growing every year. He thinks it will grow double every 5 years. Again, it's the pen. Sorry, it's not me. And he thinks it'll grow every 5 years, but that doesn't make logical sense. So what we're going to do, it says, why might his account be growing in a different way? Well, money doesn't double every 5 years. It actually will grow a small amount every single year. And that's pretty much it. It's going to grow a small amount every year, and that's just how the world works. So we're going to go down to 4, 2, 3. And just to show you my, I am at 8%, and it is not good. So we're going to go ahead and speed things up. So we're going to go ahead and copy down this table. He looks carefully at this balance here. So we're going to copy down this table, and it says time, and it says balance. And it says 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to leave a space. I never know if I need more space. But it says 440, 460, 480, and 500. So this is what the bank is doing. What is happening over this time? And how has it been growing every single step? Well, if I look from here to here, that's plus 20. Here, plus 20. Here, plus 20. And the time is growing by plus 1. So by plus 1 and plus 20, his money is growing $20 every year. And it's growing $20 per year. Every single year, it's growing $20. For B, does Gustavo's money seem to be doubling as he figured? And the answer is no. It is not doubling. My writing is terrible with this thing. Is the bank's prediction a mistake? Explain your answer. Well, I'll tell you this right now. Banks don't make mistakes. And if they do, they're in their favor. So we're going to go ahead and say, no, the bank is only giving how much? $20. And now look at that by the table. The balance is growing by 20 and the time is growing by 1 year. So every 1 year, it's growing $20. And that's a proportional relationship that we want to try to figure out. It's all in proportion. It's 1 year, $20. 1 year, $20. 1 year, $20. So hopefully you can understand that is the key in terms of proportional relationship. It's a constant growth. I'm going to go ahead and write that down. Constant growth. All right, let's go down to the next question. And we have 424. Really trying to speed things up here. 7%. It is really dying. So we have Gustavo saw the balances on the written table. Looked at thank you for letting me know that. It's going to be on a graph. So we're going to take a look at this graph. And let's take a look right here. We have this graph right here. I'm just going to make a nice little graph. We're just going to sketch this out. Very important to understand that this is the balance and money. And it's going to go by 1, 2, 3. You know, I could skip a line, so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. I'm just going to skip some lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm going to go up and up and up and up. So that's 100, 200, 3, 4, 500, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1,000. And it's not drawn to scale. I'm rushing. But then we at the bottom, we have skip a line. I'm going to skip 2 lines. Actually, I'll skip 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oops, I skipped 8, 9, 10. And so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So make sure on your test, make sure that you label every single line and everything. I'm just speeding up the process here. And this is time in years. So in time in years, we have $500. Sorry, not $500. Oops. We have $400. And it's going all the way to 10. And it looks like $600. So here's 10. I'm going to go to $600 here. And then 5 years is $500. So 5 years is $500. I'm going to go right across. So if you look at this graph is steadily increasing as it should. It's constant. However, it's not proportional. And we'll talk about more of that a little bit later. So let's go ahead and go over here. And please, it's going to take me longer to write it than say it. So please follow along. There is an additional information about Gustavo's account. What can you tell from this graph? What was his starting balance? The starting balance here is where it enters the y-axis. So the y-axis is the starting point, and that is when it's 0 for the x and whatever y is. So when 0 and whatever y is, that's your starting point. So in this case, it's going to be 0, 400. And what does that mean? It means 0 years and $400. So at 0 years, his account had $400. At 5 years, it's 500. At 10 years, it's 600. That is proportional growth. How much does it grow in 5 years? Well, in 5 years, we know it grows every 5 years, $100, because this is 5/500. And you can always do 0/400, and then we have 10/1000. So you can tell from 0 to 5, it's 5 years. And from 400 to 500, it's $100. And this is our change. And that's our growth. So that's what we have right now. I'm really hoping I can speed this up. I'm at 5%. I really got to speed things up. So what we're going to do next is Gustavo had assumed his money would double after 10 years. What would the graph look like if that were true? Well, if that was true and it was going to double in 10 years, well, that means it would be at $1,000. So we're going to go ahead and take that